What is up, you little oddballs? It is your curator, Zach, here. Come and tell you that your curator, Kara, and I are taking our annual break for the holiday season. So our January episodes, we are going to do some throwbacks. We're going to play you our favorite guest episodes from the last couple of years. So hopefully you enjoy. We'll have new episodes coming out soon. And as always, creep it real, my little oddballs. Goodbye. Welcome back to the Oddity Shop, our little oddballs, the podcast where we talk about all things creepy, odd, weird, strange, and bizarre. I am sitting here with one of the lovely curators, Kara. Kara, how are you doing today?
I am doing extra fabulous today. Do you want to know why?
Ooh, well, you're looking extra fabulous. So tell us a bit why.
Because we have a guest today, so we're going to keep this intro short. So I'm just going to introduce. And today's guest has spent more time with the dead than most of us ever will. You may know her from TikTok as Lauren the Mortician, the embalmer, educator, and the voice for the voiceless. We are so excited to have you here.
Hi.
Hello, welcome.
Hi. I'm so excited to be here. I was really looking forward to this all weekend. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, telling my husband, I love your guys' vibe. I've been watching you guys. Everything that you talk about is so interesting to me. I love when people are as open to different topics as you guys are. So I'm just so excited to be here.
Oh my God.
Well, we're so excited you're here.
You're not supposed to be complimenting us. We're supposed to be complimenting you.
But those topics are so fun because like normal life, and for most people, probably a little less so than your normal life, but it can be so just boring and mundane. So being able to just go down the rabbit holes and suspend some disbelief and just have fun in like high strange is, just exciting. So that though, Lauren, do you want to tell us like a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Lauren. As you said, I go by Lauren the Mortician online. I started making content in about 2020 when everybody was bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored. And my first viral video I ever made was about talking about working in the morgue and how I would have spiritual encounters in the morgue. And I just remember the view count went crazy, and people are like, well, wait a minute, why are you in a morgue at 2 or 3 a.m.? And so it kind of just spiraled from there, and people wanting to know what happens after you die. I am a licensed mortician. I grew up in a funeral home. And so this has always just kind of been second nature for me. So when people were so interested in what I do, it was so easy for me just to respond and answer their questions that they're dying to know. That maybe they're afraid to ask because there's so much stigma around death and that it's just not talked about enough. And so I really found a really unique niche, and it's just so me, and I'm so thankful to be where I am today. And that's kind of the rest is history.
It's so
that.
strange though, like how it's like, you're like, this is my normal life, but let me tell everybody about it. It's awesome. I love it. So, because you grew up, your dad was a mortician as well?
Yeah. Okay. So my dad is still a mortician. He's been a mortician for over 32 years. And my grandpa went to school with him, and they were the first father-son duo to graduate from the University of Minnesota.
Oh, I love that.
The mortuary program. Yeah. So
that's so cool.
Yeah. And then my dad has a twin brother, and he's also a funeral director. And then my grandma does flowers, funeral flowers.
Oh my gosh.
It's a whole family event. I love it.
Oh my God, that's cool. Did you always want to do that?
No, absolutely not. I remember growing up, it just felt like a second home to me. And when you're growing up and you're a kid and you're a teenager and you're like, you rebel and you're like, I don't want to do what you do. I want to do my own thing.
Right.
And so I remember my dad asking, do you want to do what dad does one day? And I'd be like, no. It didn't really click for me that this was what I should be looking into or that I should be doing until I lost my cousin in high school. We were the same age My parents got divorced, so my mom and my dad are no longer married.
Okay.
That's a good thing. It's a good thing. Good separation. My mom moved to Minnesota. Dad stayed in Wisconsin. And we moved to be closer to cousins. And my cousin was the same age as me. We went to the same high school. And in April, before we were set to graduate in May, he took his own life.
Mm.
And that was earth-shattering for me. I had never, it's interesting when you grow up in a funeral home. And I've seen people that I knew in real life around town that had died.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, it's just something that happens to other people. But then when it happens to somebody that you love with, oh my gosh, I will just never forget hitting the ground and just like, and being so shocked that the world still spun because mine had ended. Mine had stopped. It was like, how do people keep going? So I just remember looking at him in the casket and being like, he hated his hair like that. Why did they do his hair like that? His eyes look sunken in. Why does he look that way?
Yeah. Oh.
And it was a really tough time. And I went off to college. I was going to be a dental student. And I was like, I hate everything about this. So I dropped out of school. My dad was ready to kill me. I moved back home. I helped out at the funeral home for the summer. And I said, Dad, I think I do want to do this. And he's like, really? And I said, yeah. And so then I went to mortuary school.
That's a very sad story,
Yes.
but it shows your character because you want to be able to take care of people after they pass. So
yeah. And you'll find if you ever have coffee with another mortician one day, most of us have some sort of why as to why we got into this or how it was even on our radar to do.
It doesn't seem like a job you just typically like fall into, like, oh, what am I going to major in? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I got here. And that's how I ended up with the degree in mortuary science.
So when did you get the degree? So how long have you been in the field practicing and doing the work you do?
I graduated it feels like forever ago, but it was 2015. So it was 10 years ago. Oh my
Congrats.
gosh. I feel so old. And then you have to go through a 2-year apprenticeship and then you get your licensure. So I've been practicing for 10 years, but fully licensed for 8 years.
Oh, okay.
So were you able to do the apprenticeship with the family business or did you get to go check out others?
So in mortuary school, in your final semester, you are required to do a apprenticeship at other places in order to graduate. So I had to go to 2 different funeral homes. That was a great experience. That was wonderful because I got to see how other funeral homes do it, not just my dad's.
Yeah.
And so I did that for a while and then you graduate and then I got to go back to dad's. And honestly, that's where I wanted to end up anyway. So.
Right.
What is your what's the daily process of being a mortician? Like, what do you do when there's nothing to do? Or like,
that's actually kind of my favorite part of the job is it's not your typical 9 to 5.
Right.
It's always something different and you never know what your week is going to be like because one weekend you might get 5 deaths in and then you might be running around and then Monday comes and they all want to come in. So then you meet with all 5 families. Then Tuesday you might be running out to the cemetery because you need to get last date rubbings on all the stones. And then Wednesday you might have to do a few embalmings, run the crematory, run people their loved ones' ashes that when they're all done with cremation. Thursday, you're working a couple funerals, and then Friday, so it's always something different. And that is, I think I would go crazy if I sat at a desk Monday through Friday because I'm just so used to one of the things I didn't really realize is how much driving you do too. The job is like 50% driving because we always have to have somebody to drive around to go get people. And where the funeral home is, we are kind of out there and people hospital a few hours away and they die there. So then we have to drive to go get them and bring them back or all their family.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Or they're all buried in small town USA. All their family is buried in small town USA. So then they die out of state, but they want to come back. So then we have to arrange that whole process. It's very interesting.
Okay. Wow.
I can only imagine what would happen because you have to be highly organized to be able to do that. Like if you left that planner somewhere and somebody opened that up, like, okay, Monday we're doing running to the hospital. Tuesday, great. It'd be hilarious.
No,
you do. And it's also a team effort. If you don't have a good team, it's not going to flow right. So you need somebody answering the phones in the office, and you need another director because you can't do it alone. It's it is a lot, and it can be draining because it's not your normal 9 to 5. You don't just punch out at 5 if there's another death call to go on.
Right. And I imagine not just like physically draining, but mentally. You're dealing with people at some of the worst days of their life, right? So the emotional draining with that. What do you do to like protect and guard yourself?
I was just going to ask that. Yeah.
I think the big reality is that when you're running all the time, you kind of put yourself on the back burner. Yeah. And it's why I don't do it full time anymore, because I was running and carrying everybody else's stress and it can be a lot to manage. And when you have kids and then you're trying to run for them and you just start getting pulled in multiple different directions. I don't really have the best answer to answer that, because I think I just busy myself so much, and I just know that people need me. Yeah. And I can't be stuck in that grief. And another part of it is that they're paying the funeral home. They're paying me essentially to help them, to take them by the hand. So it's not about me or my grief or how I'm going to get through it. I need to help them get through it. So it's a lot of decompartmentalizing so that you can mentally show up and be there and be present.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I feel like that would be very tough, especially. Do you still work with your dad?
Yep, I do. It's not full time.
Yeah.
I don't have time, especially between us girls, especially like with the content creation and such. Mm-hmm. It's like I kind of have to pick my battles on what am I doing? Where do I see myself? Where am I going? And I think I've found such purpose in education and helping. I just get the nicest messages from people, and they're like, hey, I'm going to mortuary school. You taught me about what it means to be a funeral director, and I really want to do that too. And I think I give people hope that if I can do it, so can you. And I truly mean that. If you find this line of work interesting, you're going to love school. Oh, I loved mortuary school, and the job is just it. I love the job.
So I wish I would have met you when I was like a teenager, because Zach always was like, why would you want to own a funeral home in a cemetery? I'm like, I don't know. I have always wanted that. I still say to this day, I'm like, I want to own that. I just want to do that. But I think, like you said kind of earlier, it's like nobody wants to talk about this stuff, and it's weird. And if you tell somebody, especially since I guess like for you, you kind of grew up into it. But if I were to just be like, yeah, Mom, I want to go to mortuary school, she'd probably be like, what the hell is wrong with you?
So you're like, I want to work at a cemetery or do a cemetery thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, you should. You could do it now. Do you know a lot of those are volunteer run?
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they don't have a lot of them, not the big ones, but a lot of the little ones, like especially in, I'm not sure where you guys are located, but where the funeral home's at, we have, oh my gosh, like 50 cemeteries. And they're all smaller. So somebody needs to mow the lawn and care and maybe plow the snow. And so it's a lot of volunteer work you could totally find somewhere to help out with.
Hey, Zach, are you running low on spiritual supplies?
Hey, Kara, are you looking for a place with handmade items?
Yeah, we should probably go to Mystic Moons.
Oh, our buddies?
Yeah.
They make the most wonderful hand-dipped incense with over 24 scents, and we've smelled absolutely every single one of them.
Yeah, or maybe you might just be looking for a hand-strung bracelet made with only the best intentions.
And not only do they have the best intentions, they have 4 strings each, and they last forever, which I would know because I've broken every bracelet you've made for me and not theirs.
Oops. Well, they also have simmer pots for every occasion, like Sign to Yule.
And don't forget, Melinda is also a medium and a tarot card reader who's given us amazing readings, so she's ready to help us or you connect with past loved ones and get to know insights into your world.
My spirit animal is a camel. Thanks, Melinda. Anyway, so look for Mystic Moons on Facebook or Etsy, and then you can restock all your spiritual supplies.
Oh, be sure to check them out at www.etsy.com/shop/Mystic Moons LLC.
Or at Mystic Moons on Facebook. They're all over our socials, so I'm sure you'll find them.
So go get some goodies. Okay, Kara, goodbye.
Bye. Oh, I be driving around all the time, just driving through cemeteries.
Yeah.
Like all the time. I should just like pop in and be like, hey.
Yeah. And you could even, you could sell headstones. You're associated with the cemetery and hey, you want to buy a plot? I also sell headstones. It could be a way. That's how you make money.
Oh,
there you go, Kara. New career calling now.
This could be another hobby. Add it to the list. Oh my God. That's so cool.
I think it's so cool though, like that you're able to take a step back from as much of the day-to-day as the mortician, right? Because that education piece and the content creation is so freaking important. Like when I told my family that we were talking with you, my mom and my sister, who are both out. They've been on volunteer fire departments and EMT and stuff, right? But they're like, we love her content. We digest it all the time. It's like for them who kind of live in that same, maybe macabre isn't the right word for the world, but that, places that most people don't get to see. They're like, she talks like things like our normal dinner table, it's like you just normalize it in a way that I think even helps people who do similar sort of work that you do feel almost recognized.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And I also just feel like the education piece too, like you were saying, is definitely your calling. I think you do such a great job about it. But even like just watching your videos and like you can tell like through your comments that people are like, I never would have thought of it that way, or I wouldn't have viewed this way. And it's just very interesting. And I think the next time, unfortunately, they have to be at a funeral or whatever, they're going to be thinking about the things that you taught them, which I think does make people feel better because knowledge is power. When you know things, you feel better about whatever you're going into. So I think it is really important what you're doing. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, there's like this, it's like a veil or a curtain, right? We talk about like the veil with death, right? But there's also a veil for funeral service. And the older generation of funeral service, if they listen to this, don't get mad at me. I'm just telling it like it is. They don't like when people know what happens behind closed doors. There's still that whole generation where they think that we should not talk about the prep room is sacred, which I agree, but that we should not talk about it. It should not be shared. We shouldn't do any of those things. And I don't agree with that. I think it gives people more comfort to know, to take away the mystery and to just make it a more normal conversation because death is normal. And for some reason, as a society, we've really like gotten away from, I don't know if it's the technology. I don't know if it's trying to shelter everybody from harsh realities. Maybe that's why we find true crime so interesting. I don't know,
right.
Like
you're kind of peeking behind that. What was the moment for you then that was like, okay, screw the old guard and their way of doing things. I want to make this content. I want to put it out there. Like, how did you come to that decision?
I think that people that listened to my content and left such nice comments and said that I helped them is really where their opinions took a back seat for me. And when you do this for a job, and you are working on people that are the same age as you or younger, and you see how quickly your life can change in the blink of an eye. That person woke up that morning. That person put their makeup on. They took a shower. They got ready, and they thought they were going to end up in their bed at the end of the night, and they didn't because they died tragically. And when you're around that constantly, your I don't give a fuck button is broken.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
It just like breaks. Because you're like, you know what? I'm just going to do what makes me happy and what makes me feel like I have purpose. And so that's, no, they definitely talk shit about me in the funeral director groups.
Listen, if people aren't talking shit about you somewhere, you are not living life right.
Some of the content creators or people that I've had the honor of getting to know through this, like the bigger ones, they say the same thing. It's so funny. They have such like a nice outlook on it. They're like, if one gal said, she's like, I commented on how cool of a fridge she had. I was at her house. I'm like, you just have the coolest refrigerator. And she goes, well, if you get enough haters, you too can have a really cool refrigerator. I'll just like never forget that.
It's so true. We had I mean, this is probably like 2 years ago or something. We had some
it was about 6 months in.
Comment. I don't even remember what it was about. It didn't even matter. I was so excited that somebody was so bothered by something that we said. I was like,
I think we made our first TikTok after that about waking up to hate mail. Like, I think that was our final when we decided, okay, we'll show our faces.
That was so funny. We're like, what the? Okay. Like, why are you so bothered by what we said? And what we said wasn't even anything crazy. It was just.
We pissed off some treasure hunters.
Oh my, okay. I think that was the last thing I expected you to say. Some treasure hunters?
We were talking about Fenn's treasure, which is a great rabbit hole to go down if you haven't at some point. But there are a lot of people who still have very strong feelings on both sides of.
Basically, we were making comments about how we thought he was a piece of shit human. Because I'm sorry, if you hide something in the wilderness where it's impossible to find and people are dying trying to find it, you should probably just be like, you know what, let me do the right thing and I'm just going to go grab it and be like, you know what, never mind, I don't want anyone else to die. And so we were just saying stuff like that and like somebody got so mad at us.
Oh yeah,
like he was a great man and we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like, okay, that's your opinion, we're over here with ours, you go talk about it somewhere else. Yeah. You know what's interesting is the different platforms, you'll get totally different comments.
Yeah.
Like Facebook, oh my gosh. You get the more like the boomers over on Facebook and they don't give a fuck, Keisha.
Nope.
They're like, nope.
It actually is really funny.
It's sort of entertaining.
It's so entertaining. I love Facebook groups so much. I love the Instagram groups. TikTok's like the Wild West. You never know what you're going to get.
Oh yeah. I feel like TikTok, we usually get a little bit more supportive.
Yeah, we actually haven't had too much negative on there. Or
not
any,
too much,
actually.
no. We were laughing the other day. My dad is a woodworker and he started doing more mystical and metaphysical things. So he started selling spirit boards and he got the whole 2 paragraphs on Facebook about, Jesus saves and you need to pay attention to him and you're going down a dark path. He's like, I think I'm doing the right thing.
I want to buy a spirit board.
Oh my gosh, we'll send you the link. But yeah, no, it's fantastic. He does that. And my mom's a church secretary who is also a practicing witch. Like the way you're able to measure all those things together, it's so fun.
Oh my gosh, Christmas time at your house has to be a hoot.
No, it's so much fun.
Oh my gosh,
we get the coolest things from his parents.
Yeah, no, they're amazing.
I love it so much. They're so cool.
Yeah, every holiday I get a goodie bag from his mom. I'm trying I have so much stuff around me that I could show you, but I get a goodie bag of tarot cards or palm reading cards. I have so much stuff from her. And then his dad's just always making us these cool woodworking thing. I'm like, oh my God, we're the ones who are like, you should probably start selling this stuff.
Yes.
We're definitely a weirdo family, but it makes life more fun.
You know what I love about that? I feel like with religion, if everybody, you're either in or you're out. And I think it just normalizes the fact that you can still believe in God and believe that there's heaven and still be into that stuff and believe that it just holds a spirit board is not going to send you to hell. Right. And a tarot card is not going to send you to hell. No. And I think that just makes them all the cooler because
at the end of the day, whether you're witch or religious, you're doing rituals to talk to a higher power. Yep. It's all the same. It's just what front did we put on it?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, very cool.
Oh my gosh.
Speaking though of mystical and spiritual things and that, we know you get down with that a little bit too, and you've had some instances. So tell us about maybe the more spiritual side of your job, if you want to share.
Yes, I want to share.
Perfect. I'm never going to force you to tell stories, but we want to hear them.
I have had, I grew up in a funeral home. I think I've said that now 3 times, but with that, and you're around death, and it's kind of, it goes hand in hand. I am a very big believer because I've seen it that when we die, we can follow our bodies around after.
Right.
I don't believe that they hang around for long because you'll feel that heavy, you'll feel that they're there. Yeah. And then after the funeral, it'll lighten up, as if somebody opened the curtains and the lights shining in again. It's a really unique phenomena, I want to call it.
Yeah, it's really cool though.
But when I first started in college, I used to do what they're called it's corner transports. So my job as a mortuary student is I worked at a funeral home. I lived above the funeral home. And the deal was that I got to live there for free, but I had to be on call and work visitations. So I was on call.
Oh.
Our funeral home had a very large contract with a medical examiner's office. So it's not like the movies where the coroner comes and they got the van and they got the cots. And, it might be that way in California, but it's not that way in most states.
Okay.
So they contract that job out. So they talk to funeral homes or removal companies and they say, hey, you have the equipment, you have the staff, you have the people and everything, and we need help. Would you meet the medical examiner at the crime scene or at the scenes of where the death has occurred and transport the body back to the morgue?
I guess I never realized you went on scene.
So, sorry to interrupt, but Zach, I thought I told you this. My brother actually used to do that in high school because his friend's parents owned a cemetery. But I didn't live near here anymore. Like I had moved out of state. Otherwise, I probably would have been doing it too. But he did that. He would go and collect bodies. And he's just like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but whatever. Getting paid. I'm like, okay. Here's just this high school kid and his friend picking up bodies.
At least your ride is going to be quieter than being an Uber driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But that's the job. That's what the job was. And I remember talking to my dad about it. And he goes, I think it'd be a great job for you because you think of all the experience you get because it's nightly calls, it's sudden deaths, homicides, suicides, accidental, work related. I went to a prison one time. So, it's very sudden deaths, did I say car accidents? Car accidents.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And so it gave me a lot of experience hands-on. But one of the things that I didn't really think about was the fact that there would be minors too. That accidents happen. And one night I had to go on a call for a child that had died, and I transported her back to the morgue. And when I get to the morgue, my job is to roll them out of the van. I bring them in. There's a receiving area with a table and there's weight. I'm supposed to take their weight and then log them in the book. Okay. So I roll my cot up to the table, unzip my cot, has a little pouch that holds the person inside with the body bag. And so I go around the table. I pull them over onto the table. I take the weight. I go back over to the book and I start logging in. Now, at the time that I finally made it to the morgue, it was typically late because I worked nights and weekends as a student. And I'm logging the name in the book. It's 2 a.m. And all of a sudden I heard footsteps coming down the hallway. And in that moment where you just start thinking and you're like, oh, somebody's here. Right. But then you start thinking a little deeper and you're like, wait a minute. There was no cars in the parking lot. It's 2 a.m. Nobody's here. So I just stop writing and I'm listening. And the footsteps come and they stop and all the hair on the back of my neck stood up. And I realized in that moment that the footsteps sounded really light. Oh. Like as if it was a child and they were trying to sneak up on me.
Oh, I'm going to start crying.
They stopped. And you could hear me breathing. I couldn't move. I was petrified. I stood there and they spun on their heel and they ran back down the hallway. Oh. And I stood there for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Oh, I don't blame you.
And when I finally got the courage up, I turned around, nothing was there.
Yeah.
And I just very calmly rolled the table into the cooler and I left. And the amount of times I have tried to convince myself that didn't happen is insane.
I'm that same way with I'll listen to and believe anyone else's personal stories, but I almost try to recount those memories and be like, okay, what did I hear wrong?
Yeah, you try to debunk it. You're like, that's not right. Oh my gosh. No, but it was probably
just an acknowledgement, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm still here.
My best friend is a psychic medium. And I asked her, I said, why do you think that I immediately told her about everything that's ever happened to me in my life. And she said, well, that could have been the spirit, more than likely was the spirit of the little girl. And if you would have sat down on the floor and told her it was okay to come to you, she probably would have shown you what her last moments were like because she was trying to connect with you.
Connect, yeah.
What an amazing pairing, though. A mortician and a psychic,
like that,
to help you get through your job. Having somebody like that to talk to. Oh my gosh, that would be a fantastic TV show.
I call her all the time.
What a duo.
I'm like, there's somebody here. What do I do? And she goes, let me feel. I'm like, okay.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's incredible, though. That is such a great duo. Oh my gosh.
I'll tell you one more if you want to hear.
Oh yeah. Oh, please keep going.
Everything.
Hold on, I cracked my. Okay, I'm out of my drink.
This is how we know you're a pro, though, because you didn't crack it mid-sentence. You've done this before. We appreciate you.
Okay, so another night that I went, I had to go on a call for a woman who had died, and she had overdosed. And it was actually really, really sad because her dad found her, and there was a child that was alone in the house, and it was
gosh.
She was okay. Every I don't remember if it was a little boy or a little girl, but everybody it was okay. So thankfully it was within a relatively quick time frame because rigor mortis was actually still set in. And if you didn't know, rigor mortis is a chemical reaction that occurs in the body. It sets in within a few hours after death. It comes and then it goes. So it passes.
Oh. I find that every time I hear that, I find it so fascinating. And I don't know why it never stays in my brain. But when somebody or I hear something about rigor mortis again, I'm like, it's so weird.
I guess I didn't realize it goes.
Yep. It comes and then it goes. So random squirrel moment. The Pope, I had people arguing with me that he wasn't embalmed and that it was rigor mortis. And I'm like, no, girl, it's not rigor mortis because he's been dead a long time and that's already over.
Right. Yeah. I watched.
I watched those ones too. Those were good.
I was fighting for my life.
I love it. Okay. Anyway, sorry. So
anyways, we're coming back now.
Sorry.
We're coming back. So I show up to the scene. We load her into my van and I drive to the medical examiner's office a few hours away. And by the time I get there, guess what time it is? 2 a.m.
Oh, 2 a.m. Hey,
me and 2 a.m.
That's your hour.
And I'm nervous going in there because I had the footsteps already. And I just, it almost feels like somebody's watching me every time I would go in there. I could feel eyes just staring at the back of my head. But I ignored it. I tried to tell myself I was going crazy. And I had even talked to my dad about it. And he's like, oh, you're sleep deprived. It'll be okay. So I told myself, I'm just tired. It's going to be okay. So I roll the cot in up to the table, the autopsy table. And I decided that it was a long drive and I needed to go to the bathroom. And they had a bathroom, little water closet or whatever you call it, right off of the receiving area, which is super convenient when you have to go really quick. So I ran in there, shut the door, and I am doing my business. And all of a sudden I hear 3 loud bang, bang, bang.
Oh, I would much rather have footsteps.
Oh God. I would think somebody's a body wasn't dead and they were breaking out or something. Oh my God.
I was so scared. I stopped peeing midstream. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck was that?
Oh my God.
Where the sound had come from was it sounded like the autopsy table. It was right there on the other side of the door. And her body was not on that table. Nothing was by that table. Nothing would make that. It sounded like a punch on the table 3 times.
Wow.
Oh, and it's
at least your pants were already off.
Yeah, at least you were already peeing. You were already peeing. Because it's almost like a metal table, right? So it's like a distinct sound.
And it does the shake too. Like the I don't know that word where the table shakes.
I know exactly what you're talking
Reverberate?
about.
Is that the word?
Yes. Yep.
That sounds good to me.
Yep.
Oh my God. I would have lost my mind.
So how long did you hide out in the bathroom?
Solid 10 minutes. A good solid. I was having a panic attack. I'm like, okay. What could that have been? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember standing there holding the doorknob and thinking, did I miss a car in the parking lot? Is somebody here? Is somebody messing with me? I walked out there and nobody was there. There was nobody in the building. And so I ran. I very quickly, I pulled her over. I signed her in and I ran to put her in the cooler and I ran out of the building. And to this day, I think I have come up with the conclusion that she was mad that she had died because I would have been pissed too. Mm-hmm. And it furthered my belief that we follow our bodies after we die. So I don't really think that morgues are haunted. No. I think that people are just passing through.
Yeah, which I feel like that makes sense. Yeah, that would make the most sense because who would want to hang out there?
And you're dealing with so many of like you said, the accidentals or the unexpected, right? So they're probably one, confused, and two, they know their family is all going to be gathering there. So it makes sense that the spirit would go kind of just like you would if your own family member died. Okay, these are the natural next steps in what we do.
Yep.
Wow. So you said that your dad told you, hey, it's sleep deprived and that sort of thing, right? And so now after you've accepted that there might be some paranormal, high, strange things going on, has he come out with any experiences too? Or are you just like the one who's open up to it?
I have another story, but it's kind of long. Okay.
Oh, we got all the time in the world.
Before maybe this will go into your story, but did I read or I watched that you did say that your dad, and I loved it, so I'm paraphrasing, but it was something like, he told you to be more afraid of real people than the ghosts because they're not going to hurt you.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because we always say that, Zach and I am more afraid of people than any paranormal thing that him and I experience. Like I am more afraid of people.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I think my friend, my medium friend, which if you don't follow her, you should. Her name is the Bolesky is her name.
Is that the one that you hid, ashes somewhere in her?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I had a man on the internet send me his mother's ashes. Yes.
That is the dark sense of humor we love.
She hid them in her house.
That is amazing.
Before somebody comes for me, she was a terrible person in life, and her son was selling the ashes on a Facebook Oddities page. And he was trying to make back the money he had to pay to have her cremated.
I think it's great.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do.
He's like, she was not a nice lady. I'm mad I had to pay for this. If you want a part of her, this is my revenge on my mom. And I wish she was a better person, but this is therapeutic for me to sell her. So here we go.
Amazing.
I love it.
It's his, you know what? It's his thing. I love it too. And so anyways, she lives with me rent free. And I just brought her over to my friend's house on a little field trip. And so she's there temporarily until I go back and pick her up.
That's amazing.
Sorry, I feel like we keep going on tangents, but okay.
We will squirrel brain.
Yeah,
constantly,
but it's fun. It's fun. It's all good stories, so it doesn't matter. Okay, but what was your other story you were just gonna tell us?
So I don't talk about this one too often because it's a little long. I'll try to not have it be so long, and it's an experience that happened to somebody else. It's not my experience, but my dad's twin brother is also a funeral director. And when I say my dad and my uncle they're like, oh, you're just imagining things. It's not a big deal. So we don't believe in the paranormal. You know, we were raised Lutheran and this is just not what we believe in. And one day, so my uncle, he had to go on a funeral. And so he loaded his staff up and they had 3 vehicles. They had the hearse, they had the flower car, and they had the lead car, which is usually just another minivan. And it was him, his wife, and they had a 3rd staff member with them. I don't remember her name. We're going to call her Lucy.
Perfect.
So it was Uncle, Lucy, and Uncle's wife, and they're driving up. They're out in the sticks. It's dirt roads all the way up to this church. And they get to the church and they look and Lucy's gone. And they're like, well, I wonder where she's at. She's not here. We'll just get set up and then we'll try to find out where she went, because she was right behind him. But the dirt road kicks up so much dirt. They're like, oh, maybe she missed the turn. You know, they're like, where could she have gone?
Oh gosh.
So my uncle got back in the car and he turns around. He's like, well, I'm going to go find her because she's not answering her phone. And he goes down the road a few intersections and he finds her. She had been T-boned by a pickup truck that did not see her because they had kicked up the dirt going through the intersection.
Oh my God.
And it had hit her on the driver's side and she had ended up in the ditch.
Oh God.
Oh, I have such goosebumps right now.
So he immediately pulled over, got out of his car, ran. He had to run to the passenger side because he couldn't get to her from the driver's side because it was so mangled. He opened the door and she's sitting in the driver's seat and she's going, and he's panicking and he's trying to undo the seatbelt and he's trying to get her out and he's trying to say her name and trying to wake her up and trying to do something.
Oh my God.
And all of a sudden this woman shows up and she's standing at the hood of the car and she goes, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm trying to save her. Can you help me? I'm trying to get her out of the car." And this woman says, "No, she's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. Just leave her be. It's going to be okay." And he looked back to Lucy and he looked back to her and she was gone.
Whoa.
And he was in such a panic on trying to get Lucy out of the car.
You're not even thinking, where did this person come from?
Nope. He's like, "Well, she's gone. She left." So then he's still, he thought maybe she went over to the other car or
get
something.
help or something.
So, Lucy didn't make it. Lucy did die. And, my uncle ended up getting the funeral. They had the funeral, was probably a week later. And so the family came in and they're sitting and they're making arrangements and they had brought pictures in for the funeral to put up on the picture boards.
Oh, I knew you were going to say this.
And he looked at the pictures and it was her grandma.
That is amazing though. Just like your family is helping, like coming back to help you. Yeah. Wow. I have tears too. That's
I know,
an incredible
it makes
story.
me cry too.
That's wow.
He said that it was like how I'm talking to you, or how if you're in public and there's somebody just standing there, he couldn't see through her. She was there. Like she wasn't just an apparition or she really looked like somebody he could have reached out and touched. And I think that it was just I just have goosebumps all the way from my head to my toes. No matter how many times I talk about this story.
I have a lot of goosebumps.
When people are near death, they talk about how angels come and visit them or how their loved ones are there. And I don't believe that they're hallucinations. I believe that is very true. And this story shows that, because she was trying to tell my uncle that it's going to be okay. She's going to be okay, but she's coming with me and I'm here.
Right.
And the family, my uncle told them. He told them that it was her. And they all cried. Yeah. Everybody was crying. There was not a dry eye in there. And I think it brought them a lot of peace.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's incredibly brave of him to tell the family that story, because you don't know in that instant how they're going to react to that. And I'm so glad that he did, though, because
that's incredible.
He could have withheld that comfort to protect, just the reaction.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That wasn't even long. That was a good story. Ooh.
My kid is in here and he keeps laughing. Can you hear him?
I've heard little bits of it, but listen.
It's not.
Lauren,
don't worry about it.
This is not the most highly polished thing in the world. We're going to make noises. I can get rid of a bunch of it.
Yeah.
We would like it to be more raw and fun and have your kid around than care about anything like that.
He's playing Luigi's Mansion.
Oh,
a good game.
And it's like his favorite thing in the whole world. And he's probably on a part where he thinks it's hilarious. And my husband is with the other kid and they're outside.
Do not even worry about it. We would much rather have
I don't care.
It'd be just like really realistic and everything. So
at first I heard it like a faint scream, but that's not the first time we've had faint screams on a podcast and it not actually be a child. So I was just thinking that we were okay.
This was whatever. A really fun one. We were about to start recording with a guest. We hear screaming. We're talking about the scream, and it was like just kind of how you jumped into the recording. He jumps in and we're like, oh my gosh, we were just hearing like the scream noise, trying to figure out if our window was open. He goes, so you guys know how I'm related to Lizzie Borden? It wouldn't be the first time we've heard her spectrally screaming before. I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, so that was you.
He goes, totally it normal. Happens all the time with me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that episode I think is already out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sam's out. Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know if you could hear it in the recording though.
No, because it was before you and me were on. It came through, and then he jumped on. So,
but he's like, no,
we got to start recording earlier now.
Yeah, he's like, he's like, I hear her screaming all the time. I'm like, oh, okay. Alrighty then. I'm like, well, I guess we're not talking about Lizzie Borden because I don't want her screaming at us anymore. Oh my God. Man. Anyway, so Zach does not like kids. He's lying.
I still think they're cute.
He's trying to like kids. He's gotten so much better.
That's like me with cats. I love cats, just not at my house.
There you go. See, you take care of the kids. I'll take care of the cats. We'll make the world go round.
But if your kids are like sarcastic, like Zach loves like a sarcastic kid.
A sassy kid, I'm golden. If they're like all well behaved, I just don't know how to
He doesn't know what to do.
I'm like, I can't.
Oh my God. All right. Sorry. Now we get off on all these tangents.
I know. It's what we're best at. Okay. So with like some of the spiritual things that go on around there too, do you do anything like to cleanse or help the spirits move on between things? Or are you more of just the observer? Like what kind of role do you take in that?
I think now I've when things happen, I'm not as jumpy or as nervous now. I think that just took a few times to kind of realize that I might be, because I'm open to it, I think I might be a light for them they're just trying to find some sort of way to connect. So for me, I might just, take a couple deep breaths and I talk to them and I tell them it's okay. I talk to their body too, like as if they're still alive, because I fully believe that they're listening, even though.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they're watching you like, what are you doing to me?
Yep.
Take care of me.
So I it's kind of comforting for me now. I know that's weird to say.
No, I get it.
So it's not weird. It's just another day on the job.
I do. I found it really fascinating. I was watching one of your videos and it just stuck with me. The one where you were saying, like people asked you why we don't make people smile like after they pass. And I was thinking like, why the hell? That would be so creepy to me. And I think you said it perfect. You're like, well, it's kind of not very comforting if like your passed away loved one is just smiling.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know why that just like creeped me out. But then I just thought it fascinating that you were like, you can inject them and then kind of like hold it so that they smile. And I was like, it's so fascinating to me.
Yes,
Zach's like getting grossed out. I can see it.
I'm doing good. Okay, so I'm very squeamish about things that like bones and blood and organs should remain inside the body, or I get lightheaded. So we're good though. I can hear about it. It's more the watching it.
All right, you're doing okay.
I'm doing
so anyway,
good.
when you're doing embalming fluid, right? And you saying you inject it in? Do you inject it in the head and then it goes into the face? How does that work?
Yeah. So. When in an ideal embalming, we use the carotid arteries here. You can, it's similar to how your body already pumps blood. It's a closed system. So we, drain through the jugular vein, the blood out. We want to replace that blood with embalming fluid. So we inject it into your carotid artery. Your carotid also runs up into your head. So we inject down and then we take it out and we push the cannula up so that it goes up into the head. And you can do it on both sides. Ideally, you just want to stay on this side and it'll circulate through. But you can tell if you're getting fluid distribution because the face will firm up. That's what the embalming fluid is meant to do, is help firm up the tissues. It makes doing cosmetic work so much easier on the face too. And when we do that, when it's firming up, you can kind of take the lips and just
make them like a slight,
but not a smirk, not like a big old smile, just like a
so creepy.
just where it's not such a huge frown. It's just
like a Mona Lisa sort of deal.
Yes, exactly like that. Just a little that they're at rest, that they're at peace, and that they don't look uncomfortable.
So, just because you said like the cosmetic part of it, do you do the cosmetic part of it or do other people usually do it? How does that part work? I don't even know.
No. So something that'll probably stick with you that I'm about to say is that funeral homes are cheap.
Yeah.
We like to do everything. Not necessarily, maybe I shouldn't say that, but they are. They're not going to go out and hire a special makeup artist because they got a lot of people that are like, I just want to do the makeup. Can I do that? The answer is you could, but are you going to get hired? No. Because they would rather, they would rather pay the full-time director to go in. It's already kind of a part of the whole process. I actually love doing the cosmetic work, so I'm glad it's a part of my job. Most of us love doing it. So we do it.
Do you like look at pictures of them and kind of, for a reference and we didn't do my grandma's makeup, but my mom's a hairdresser. And so that was like one of my I'll cry. One of my grandma's things is like, she always told my mom, you have to do my hair because you're the only one knows how to do it and you will do it right. And so my mom's like, okay. So my mom did her hair.
Oh, she loved that. Yeah. I know she loved that. She was watching over. She just loved that.
Oh, she did. Yeah. So, but yeah, I was wondering about the makeup, but that makes sense because I feel like, they're not going to hire. I mean, I guess you could, but.
You could. If the family walked in and they're like, hey, we want to do her makeup. Absolutely. Or we want this person to do the hair or the makeup. Absolutely. Let's call them. It's not something we have to do, but it's already things we do in-house that we went to school for to learn how to do. So we do it.
That's part of the schooling is the makeup?
Yes. Restorative art, restorative cosmetics.
I love that.
Wow. I guess I would have never thought about that. That would be part of the schooling.
Yeah. And, you know, they just barely teach you. It's a lot of learning on the job, but they try to teach you how to, with clay, rebuild an ear, or if there was skin slip, how to accommodate for that. So it's things like that.
Okay. That makes sense. But still, I guess I never would have thought about that. That's wild. Oh, look we're learning so many things.
I know. You said in there too that like if the family requests, right? So I'm sure. What are some of like the wildest requests that you've gotten to honor for families?
Oh, I had a lady. She had like 50 cats in her lifetime, and she had them all cremated, and they all lived at her house with her. Speaking of cats.
Okay.
And so she said, her daughter came in and she's like, what are we going to do with all these cat cremains? And I said, well, can we bury them with her? And she's like, we can do that. And I said, yeah.
Yeah.
She goes, well, the cemetery. I said, how is the cemetery going to know that the kitties are in there?
Right.
I'm like, I'm going to turn around and you can put it in there when I'm not looking. And I didn't see anything. So
literally taking the secret to the grave. I love that.
Yep. Like 50 little
like urns
with the cats. Aww. Yeah. And that brought the family a lot of peace to do that for her. And, probably something
she probably loved it. Oh my God. That's so cute. Oh, I'm sure there's some wild requests.
I had a son bring in a brown paper bag. He brought me his mom's clothes, and he was really nervous about it. And I'm like, and so what I like to do when people bring in clothing, because I learned the hard way, is we go through every single piece that you bring me, and I take an inventory of what you brought me. And how I learned the hard way very quickly, I had a daughter bring me clothing in a plastic bag. Okay. And at the viewing, she goes, where's my mom's ring? And I said, what ring? Well, I brought you that plastic bag and I had my mom's ring in it. And it was a gift from all of the kids.
Oh.
And I said, there was no ring. And I am like scouring the funeral home. I'm looking in the garbage cans. I'm looking in the carpet. I scoured that place with a fine tooth comb. There was never any ring.
Oh, I would have been in full panic.
I felt so bad. Even today, like a part of my heart still like hurts that she fully, I would see her out and around in town and she was just giving me a death glare every time she was so mad at me. Yeah, I don't know what she thought. Well, there was like 10 kids. And so the son came up to me and he goes, hey, I just want you to know, I don't want you to beat yourself up over that. We all thought that ring was fucking hideous, and none of us really wanted her to be buried with it.
Oh my God.
So good. Well, that would make me feel a lot better. Yeah,
actually. So she was the only one.
If it was in that bag, maybe it disappeared for a reason. I
was just going to say, maybe one of the other kids took it out.
They really didn't want her to be, but this one daughter was so adamant about the ring.
You know why? She's the one that fucking bought the ring. She picked it out.
She probably did. Oh, it was a very special, but none of the kids wanted it.
She picked it out. Oh my God. That is wild.
Oh, that is hilarious.
I want to go maybe more morbid side. How do I phrase this? What is like the most common like accidental death, or like what is something that like, is there like one that you're like, wow, you would never imagine, but a lot of people like die this way?
I did not know how many people die in car accidents. I did not know. They're actually there's a few pretty morbid ones. Car accidents. We also had a contract with a local, not a funeral home. We had a contract with a local hospital that we would run the SIDS cases to the.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I had no idea the amount of babies that I would go and pick up that in like full term. And they were in just these tiny little body bags. And And I didn't see them, but I can feel them like through the body bag. And it was my job to bring them for the autopsy. And then the third thing, which really should have been number one, because this is the most common, I had no idea how many people take their own life.
It is shocking.
Because it's not talked about. No. And it's not a big news story. It's not going to make the news. It is astronomical. That was the number one call I would get called on, as people who took their lives.
Oh, I have goosebumps.
Yeah, no, and it's a tough one. And yeah, you're right. People, it's more of we're going to kind of push it under the rug.
Yep. It's not top news tonight.
No. And it damn well should be, you know?
It should be, because I think if people really knew that is the number one call. That, and then car accidents. And then, oh gosh, well, I hate motorcycles. Motorcycles are death cycles, really.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when it comes to car accidents, and I want to know if you can help vindicate me in the age-old fear that all of us millennials have.
I know where this is going. How
dangerous is it to drive behind the logging truck?
I knew
Final Destination scene that fucked us all up.
That Final Destination and going on death calls shaped how I drive. Like, I do not stay behind the logger truck.
Nope.
I do not. If you are hauling a suspicious looking load in the back of your car, I don't even care if you think you have it strapped down right. I will not drive behind you. I will go around.
Yep. Same.
I knew it was a good fear to have.
Scarred me for life.
I've been on enough fatalities with car accidents, and I have seen what speed can do to the human body. I don't even chance it. Have I ever been on a logger death? No. But is there going to be one? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I mean, speed, and the highway don't care. And it's very quick, blink of an eye and it's over.
Yeah. I witnessed, when was that exact? Well, probably 5 years ago, I think now.
Oh yeah.
Motorcycle. And it was a young kid. And I think he was only 21, 20. And I was driving. I was on my way home from work, and it was in a construction area on the highway. So it was down to 2 lanes. And I'm on the phone with my husband, and I'm like, oh my God. And this motorcycle whips past me. And I would tell my husband, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, and now I'm like, damn, I'm like, that kid's going to kill himself. Something like that. I said something, or he's going to die. Like, he's going to kill something. Like, oh my God. Right. Not even, I would probably say like 5 minutes later, I get up and I see that there's now 1 lane. Everyone's going around. And I see that he hit the back of the car because he couldn't stop in time, flew over the median and got hit by a truck on the other side. And so I just like flew into like, fight or flight. And then I realized that the people that he hit was a young kid. So this kid is mortified because this motorcycle just hit the back of his car. And so I'm like, oh my God. So I get out of the car and I'm like calming this kid down. And then I realized that not even 20 feet away from me is this dead body. And I'm like, oh man. So I don't even know what came over me, but I'm like, does anyone have a blanket? And somebody in a car had a blanket and gave it to me so I could cover this poor kid, because people are on the other side are getting out and gawking at this.
Yep. That's what they do. Yep.
It was crazy. It was wild. But after that, I was like, yeah, no one needs a motorcycle. Let's just not.
No.
Or drive fast. Like, oh my God, it was crazy.
No, I had no idea how many people die on motorcycles either until holiday weekend coming up. Without a doubt, somebody's going to die on a motorcycle.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's inevitable. It's so sad.
And if you're listening to this and if you own a motorcycle, or if you ride with your significant other, you should each have your own bike. You should not ride together on a motorcycle. Nothing has fucked me up more than going on husband and wife killed in a motorcycle accident. They went out, they were going for a drive, and somebody pulled out and they hit the car and they're both gone. In a split second, they're both gone. And so I show up, they're both still warm. I load them up into my van and I bring them to the medical examiner's office, where I unload them one at a time and roll them into the cooler side by side. And what fucks me up is thinking about how they woke up that morning and they were not planning to meet me that night.
Yeah. Like they were just going to go on a fun adventure. I think that, and it always really, really fucks me up when I see kids on bikes.
Oh.
Like, I just don't think that should be.
It's not
especially
worth it.
In a state like ours where you don't have to wear a helmet anymore. So
yeah,
stupid.
That's fucking stupid as hell. But
absolutely. But you know what? It doesn't do much for him anyways.
Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I guess if you're going to be hitting something at that speed. No, you're totally fine.
No, I'm not done yet. Sorry, he's like attached at my hip. Mom!
That is totally good. We can start getting you wrapped up. I know it's probably getting late for him.
Oh yeah. Oh my God, it's already 9:00. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I can't believe an hour flew by.
It goes so fast.
I know.
I was gonna ask really quick. Were you the one that made a video about not wearing hair clips while driving?
Or was that somebody else? That was not me.
Do you know what I'm talking?
Yes. Yep.
So Zach, if you don't know, and I can't remember where I heard it, but it was, like the big jaw clips that you put your hair up with.
Like the big plastic ones?
Yes. I
use them all the time.
And maybe, yeah, with your beautiful hair. maybe this isn't true, but whoever it was, wherever I saw it, was like, you shouldn't drive with those because they've seen so many people have it be impacted in the back of their head if they got into a car accident. And now every time I get into the car, I take my claw clip out. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a nurse, I think, on TikTok that talked about that.
Yeah.
But somehow it got roped in with me because around the same time, I was talking about how when you're at a stoplight, you don't go on green.
No, I never do.
So it turns green. You should take a second and look both ways and make sure there's no other cars coming because you don't know if somebody could run the light. And I picked up somebody that did, that they ran the light and, but yeah, claw clips.
No claw clips.
No claw
Hesitate.
clips.
Don't ride motorcycles.
Don't ride motorcycles.
Three things we learned here.
Just don't do it. Okay. I would say we have some rapid fire questions.
Yes.
Do it.
Okay. She's like, do it. Okay.
Perfect.
Most surprising part of mortuary school.
Oh, how morbid can I be?
Oh, we should have started timer.
As morbid as you want.
Be morbid.
Okay. So at mortuary school, when you donate your body to science, you can sign a line that says that at the end of it, they can keep whatever they want to. So there are just bins of different perfectly preserved body parts in mortuary school that we have the opportunity to examine. And so that was really kind of shocking for me because I wasn't expecting that. And so when we had human anatomy and we were learning about the private parts, they have boxes with private parts in them.
Oh, very interesting.
Okay.
So we got to learn about anatomy just like right up close.
Okay, so if you donate your parts, you might really be donating your parts.
Yeah, and you don't need them anymore. So
that's very true.
It is a very nice gift of you to give because then we get to study that for human anatomy. And not only me, but where I went to school, it was a part of the medical school program. So they also have the dental students and the doctors and the nurses. And so that was really interesting for me to be able to see what a gift donation is and how we got to learn so much more because we had people that donate their bodies and we would embalm on the donors.
What a multifaceted, because you're getting cosmetic and you're getting anatomy and you're getting it's so many different, and you're running the business, like so many hats.
I love this.
What's the one tool in your work that you can't live without?
That I can't, nobody's ever asked me that before.
We tried to come up with kind of different ones.
There's just so many things that I need.
Right.
I need everything. I need my embalming table and I need my embalming machine and I need my cremation, my crematory. I have a special makeup brush that we always use.
There you go.
That could be your one tool.
And it's vintage. And
okay. That's cool.
It's vintage and it's great. So I'm going to say my makeup tools.
Okay, perfect. This isn't actually one of mine, but I forgot I wanted to ask you. Do you want to be buried or cremated, or what do you want to do?
Oh, I get that all the time. So that depends on how old I am when I die. Because if I die tomorrow, I already know that my dad will talk my husband into having me embalmed because he's going to want to see me. They're going to need that for closure. I think my kids would need that too. I think that they would need that.
Okay.
So it's not really
makes sense.
It's not about me. But when I'm 90 and I'm old and I'm wrinkly, and if you don't come and visit me, you can you're not coming to see me when I'm 90. Like you had all the time. You had 90 years. So you could just cremate me. It's really up to my family. It does not matter to me one way or the other because I believe that funerals are for the living.
Yeah. I've heard you say that. I kind of agree with that.
What's your favorite fun fact in the mortician realm to share with people? Your go-to icebreaker.
Oh my gosh. These are great questions. I don't know. We've had, it would have been rigor mortis because that's my number one thing to debunk because so many people think that.
There we go.
That's a good one.
I can't even think of another one.
I think that's a fair answer. I know we're putting on the spot with a bunch.
Oh, no, I got one.
Okay.
So a lot of people want to know with cremation, they talk about black smoke coming out of the crematory.
Oh.
And so a good icebreaker is that sometimes it's just black smoke, but sometimes, you think about the human body and the fact that we all have fat in different places. And that fat can help. fuel the fire. And if you have a lot of fat, a lot of excess fat, that can boost the flame. And when the flame gets too high,
I would have never thought of that.
You get black smoke. And so you have to be really careful, and you need to monitor the crematory, or else you could have a grease fire that has gotten out of control, and then the fire department comes.
Oh my God, I would have never
thought about that.
That's a good one.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, that is a great one.
Okay. All right. So okay. What, if any, are some myths or like urban legends about death that you secretly wish were true?
Oh, okay. I don't know if I secretly wish it was true, but an urban legend that I hear all the time and I call bullshit on is when people are like, my granny worked in the hospital and the dead guy sat up on the table and he just sat up. Have you ever heard that? People are like, oh, the dead body sat up on the table. And I'm like, ma'am, that was not a dead body. They are alive. If they're sitting up, they're alive. Think of the muscle it takes in your abdomen to do a sit-up. Like, I don't even want to do that when I'm alive. I'm not going to do that when I'm dead.
Hey, Kara, you should cross off your next question.
One of the questions on here, is it true that dead bodies can sit up? But that's so funny.
Well, if you ask that, you could just stitch it in at the beginning of that one.
No, I love it.
That's perfect.
I think that's funny because
that one bothers me so much. Oh, my grandma, she was a nurse and she saw this. I'm like, no, she didn't.
I never thought that was true, but when I was like trying to think of questions, I was like, well, maybe it fucking is. I don't know, but that's even funnier. That
so many people think it. I almost wish it was true. Well,
there you go. That's not really urban legend, but I guess
if you're into the sciencey stuff, technically, if you died and you were on your side when you died, and if rigor mortis set in and then bloating happened, and let's say I went to turn you over and I'm trying to get you loaded onto the cot, it might appear as though you are sitting up because your body is stuck that way until rigor mortis passes. So I've had people where they are in immediate rigor mortis and they are curled up in a ball, and I can't relieve that rigor mortis. Sometimes you can stretch their arms or move their hands and do a little yoga, and you might be able to work it out to alleviate that. But when it's in the first stages of it and it is solid, you can't break it until it passes.
Wow.
Or you will break a bone.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so wild.
My last one is, I was loving the video of the, and I think you said like a scavenger hunt of the metal bucket that you have of all the metal that came out. What is like the wildest thing that has come back out of the crematorium?
Oh, I found a pair of surgical scissors that was left inside of the body.
Oh, I was not going to.
Do you have any idea how long? Like, was it a procedure that they had close to death, or were they there for? So
they actually died during the procedure.
Okay.
And it was left inside the body. And I thought that was kind of rude. I'm like, that's rude. Maybe they forgot it. I don't really know, but it was shocking to me to find it like when I'm picking through for the metals. I was like, this is just a pair of scissors just hanging out here. Or it was a clamp. I'm sorry. It was a clamp.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh but my God.
A little negligent on the medical side.
That was why? I don't know. Just kind of, they didn't do a very good, but you know what? I don't really know any logistics about the surgery. Maybe they were really upset that they couldn't save them
or something. Yeah.
And the doctor just didn't, he was so upset that he left. It's so hard to say. So I don't want to say it was medical malpractice. I think that it was a very sudden death. And I think it just got forgotten.
Well,
but it was shocking.
That's shocking.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh my
shocking.
God.
Whoa.
Well, is there anything else that you want to tell us, or?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I told you so much already.
I know. This is this is the quickest hour that we've ever had with a guest. This is like wild.
That makes me feel good. That means you had fun. Okay.
That means you have to come back.
Oh, this was so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If anybody listening has any questions that they're dying to know, maybe we'll have to do like another little Q&A and answer any questions.
Oh,
yeah,
that would be
fun.
We could have like our listeners ask or write questions to have.
All right,
you
listeners.
back.
So that's our ask this week. Instead of asking you to write in your own personal creepy stories, any questions that you have for Lauren, we're going to stack them up and then we'll have her back again.
Oh, but if you have a creepy story, you should send that too, because I love reading creepy stories, and we can read your story too.
Oh, you know
you
what?
want to join us for a bonus episode?
Yeah.
Oh, Okay, do you?
Okay.
Because
Perfect.
we do have some write-ins. But we are waiting for a couple more people to give us some of their creepy stories. So maybe when we get a couple more and some questions, we'll have you back. That would be fun.
That sounds so
like fun.
Oh my
Perfect.
God. Okay.
All right, we're gonna put you on the spot one more time, Lauren. Because Kara, what does she need to do? What does she need to pick?
Okay, so we always ask our listeners when we get to make sure they actually got to the end of our episode. We usually have them leave an emoji. So what emoji should they leave for this episode?
Ooh, they should leave the coffin emoji.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, right on. No thought there.
No thought. That's my favorite one. I do a little coffin and a little sparkle, but do the coffin one.
Well, they can do both. Coffin and a sparkle. Yeah. I like it.
Usually I would say, let people know where to find you. But if our listeners are like, anybody we've told you we're coming on here, they already know how to find you on TikTok.
They're like freaking out.
But anything else you want to point them to, or?
Nope. I'm just on YouTube. YouTube's new for me. I'd love if you'd follow me there on YouTube, trying to grow that. And I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook as Lauren the Mortician.
Perfect. All right. So go follow her if you don't already, although I'm sure you already do.
Right. Well, I guess our only ask is write in the creepy story so Lauren can come back and some questions for her.
And what else do they have to do before we close the shop up?
Listen, we're just so grateful that Lauren is here. I can't even believe it. I still can't believe it. I'm going to pass out as soon as I'm done. I'm just so excited. Before we close the shop, let me just tell you, I'm like, until you show up on camera, Lauren, I'm like, I think I'm getting pranked. I think somebody's pranking me.
I think she thought Ashton Kutcher would show up in all honesty.
No, I should have just had the skeleton head right at the beginning.
Yeah. I'm like, what if I was telling my husband, he's like, sweetheart, it's really her. Why would she's not like, it's her. I'm like, well, what if it's a prank account pretending to be her? Oh. He's like, it's not, sweetheart. I think she really does love your vibes and she's coming. And I was like, okay.
Yes, no.
Oh my God. So anyway, we really appreciate this. We can't believe absolutely. It. But anyway, the most important thing that you guys can do for us is to creep it real, yadballs.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You got to throw a bye in there, Lauren.
Bye.
Perfect.